Well, today I'm not on the farm, but I'm at the State Fair of West Virginia. And where I'm at right now is at the entrance gate where you come in. It's early in the morning, so people are coming in. It's a little overcast, cloudy, and I thought I'd take you for a little walk around. In the background there's some music. Take Me Home, West Virginia. Rides in that direction, and then in the direction we're facing right now, agriculture, and that's kind of where I'm going to be. So this building right here is the West Virginia building, and inside it's got a lot of exhibits like you know, garden vegetables, quilts, things like that. We'll just kind of take a walk through. Some classic cars down through here, and here's kind of a neat old pickup truck. F-100. '51 Chevrolet truck, 6-cylinder. I like a step-side bed. Ford Mustang. '57 Chevy. C10 Chevrolet. The grandstand is straight ahead, and inside it they've got a bunch of vendors and selling all kinds of trinkets and shirts and candy and whatnot. But that grandstand overlooks a track, which we'll look at here at some point. And they have big concerts out here during the fair. And I know one time we came out here and saw Willie Nelson when he was in his prime, and it was a great concert. You can see the clouds in the distance and the rides off in the distance. This is a good day to be here. It's not quite so hot, and with the sun being blocked out, it's right comfortable. So when I come to the State Fair of West Virginia, as I may have mentioned, I'm not interested in the rides. I'm interested in the agriculture equipment and the agriculture and the animals. And that's kind of what we're going to be focused on today. There won't be a whole lot of talking. Try not to get in anybody's face with this camera, but check out some of the equipment. See more and more of these hay wrappers around, people making silage round bales. This is a round baler I'd like to have, 450M. Mower conditioner. Looks like a center pivot. Let's see what it's got underneath. Impellers. I think John Deere makes a pretty good mower conditioner. This is a Ogden hay runner and wheel rake, an 8-wheel rake, and this one has kicker wheels on it to stir up the center grass. A lot of the wheel rakes don't have these, and so when you're raking hay, a lot of times when we rake hay, we have moisture coming in from the bottom of the hay from the ground, and we really need to stir that up, and a lot of wheel rakes don't have that. This one does, and Vermeer is like this too, in that they have the beam comes down on the center, and they have 2 wheels to kick up the hay instead of 1. And they haven't. What's good about it is, in my opinion, is that kicker is up here in the front, not back at the very back. And I think some of these kicker wheels are located behind the frame. The way they throw the hay, sometimes it'll cause a jam as the hay comes out of the wheel rake. So I kind of like this machine, but I especially like the Vermeer VR 820, 10, or 1220. I like those rakes. Make that the Vermeer 10, 22, and 1224. We need a batwing mower on our farm in a bad way, but I don't think I'll be buying anything new. This dealership over here, Boone Tractor, they're all over the area, down around Salem, Danville. They've got an old Ford right there. I don't know what model it is. Golden Jubilee. Anyhow, they carry New Holland and Massey Ferguson. This is a Power Star 110. So this would not be like a T5 machine, I don't think, but I really don't know. Disc bind. One thing I like about New Holland's disc binds is, and their balers, like their square balers, they have hatches to get into just about everything. This one's a 9-foot machine. It's got rollers. I don't think the blades are quick change. They ought to be. They've been out long enough with these things to make it happen. This one does not have a swivel hitch. Massey Ferguson makes a Global Series tractor. And this is a 4709. They make a 4710 that seems to be right popular on YouTube, and they're supposedly a right decent tractor. And they're made in China and Brazil. I think when they had some tariffs thrown on China during the Trump administration, I think they shifted some production to Brazil. And this one right here, I'm looking to see where it was made. And I don't, but it's on there somewhere. This is a Peckway 4-basket tedder. They're very, very heavy duty. Very heavy duty tedder. Right here is a New Holland 8-wheel Pro Kart tedder. I think they're a great tedder. You know, if I had to ding them for anything, it would be that their kicker wheel is right back here. When you get it, it's right back here at the exit of the hay. Sometimes they can jam up. They always have fair pricing on the list on this thing is $74. The fair price is $72. What I do like about these rakes is each wheel is independent of the other. So I'm assuming that maybe you can get a better float out of that. I'm not real sure. The one wheel rake that I guess the two wheel rakes that I'm impressed with the most is the Vermeer and the New Holland rakes. Right here's a T5 120, and we're right next to the highway, so it's going to be a little noisy, but I can't imagine I'd ever buy one of these things, but who knows. And a New Holland round baler. We did a tour one time. We were on vacation up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and we actually did a tour of the New Holland plant right there in New Holland, Pennsylvania. And they were building these balers and welding them up, and it was an impressive factory. See if they got a price on this baler. Easy access with that way that thing flips up to all of these chains. I don't see a, yeah, here it is. So this baler right here is says silage. You can get into this thing for $39,900. Wow. Right over in here is the Kubota display, and they just got some smaller tractors out here. They look handy as a pocket knife. I think Kubota makes a pretty good tractor. A lot of trailers, and there's the LS tractors over there. They just got a few small ones. Outbuildings. One of the things I see on some of these more popular YouTube channels, they're sponsored by TYM, and they're using their tractors. My biggest concern about TYM and some of these small brands is that they just don't have the, in my opinion, the capability to tear into a transmission or an engine like maybe a bigger company, more established outfit that might carry John Deere, New Holland, Case IH, or Massey Ferguson. And it's not a dig on the dealer. It's just kind of the realities that you know, if you have to have your engine rebuilt under warranty, you know, who's going to do it? And some of these dealers, especially the bigger franchises now, surely they have the resources and skilled labor to be able to take care of some of those issues, and it happens. So over here is a showing of some of the classic tractors from way back in the day, and I'm going to take a little video of them. I'm not going to have anything to say much, if anything at all, and kind of show you around some of these.
Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. My name is Devin Cole. This is Peter Jacobson. We are Hot Glass Academy. Thank you for coming out. We're going to be doing some glass blowing demonstrations for you. Our biggest tool here that you notice it's pretty orange right in the center is a glass blowing furnace. It's heating up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. We have about 30 pounds of molten glass inside of this furnace already in a big bowl called a crucible. Started just like this. Kind of looks like an ice cube, but you don't want to bite down on this. This is glass right here. It's been pre-fired by a manufacturer that makes glass 4 glass blowers. This is engineered to be used by artists like myself, and the reason for that is it has a longer working time than, let's say, bottle glass. It's a relatively similar glass to bottle glass, but it's engineered to work, let's say, 10 or 15 seconds at the bench before having to be reheated, where bottle glass gets shot into a mold, cooled off in about 3 seconds, and then eventually annealed in about 30 to 40 minutes. This glass will crack and break if it gets heated up too quickly or cooled too quickly. And the process of annealing, the leading stress in the glass, is how we have all this beautiful work out in front of us. Everything that we make has to go into the oven after we make it and stay at 930 degrees for the day and cool down overnight. So this is also the wall thickness of the glass itself. I have a really thick piece of glass, let's say 12 feet wide by 12 feet wide by a foot thick, which is recording past the late 1930s, pretty sure. They took a heater in the oven, they opened up too quick and cracked the grow. So they did another one that took 3 years for them to anneal or relieve the stress of the glass. There's many different versions of glass, just like there's many different types of metal lined glass. It is the same type of stuff as your bottle glass, your window glass. It's relative to 96 coefficient expansion. There's actually a lot of science in glass.
Here's some tractors that are kind of away from the crowd. Not sure why they're over here. Maybe it's just overflow, but maybe the guy talking in the background you won't hear quite as much. But I wanted to say that Farm All M, those Farm All Ms back there were, in my opinion, and the John Deeres, you know, just part of the American farming fabric and workhorses. This is a Farm All H. My wife's grandfather on her mom's side, he farmed. He was a dairy farmer in Floyd County, Virginia, and he had Farm All H and Farm All Super H, and I knew him a little bit, a couple years, 2 or 3 years before he died, and he'd been long since retired, but he drove international trucks too, and I think he bought the stuff somewhere down around Christiansburg, Virginia. I guess maybe there was a dealer down there, I'm not real sure, but I asked him why international, and he just said they were just felt right, you know, and I believe that's the words he used. And he had these narrow front tractors on the Floyd counties, is just as hilly as any other mountain area in Virginia, and but he had these tractors out on the hillside. I talked to one of his sons, and he said he was all over them with these tractors. But I think they were at just about as many Farm All H's made as there were 8N tractors over the long run. But International made a lot of mistakes there towards the end, and maybe from the late 50s all the way to the end. I don't know. You can talk about it ad nauseum on these internet forums, but there's no question they made a decent tractor, and it's a pity that they're long gone now as a unbought, unmerged company. The tractor that should have been the breakthrough tractor for International was their 60 series tractors, the 460 and the 560. But International made a blunder that probably stayed with them the rest of the production run of International Harvester, and kind of you know, again, I think International made great tractors, and they were very good for the farmer. The company was very good for the farmer, but you know, financially and some of their engineering priorities, they were so diverse, you know, into refrigeration, and had their own steel mills. There's a book by Barbara Marsh called A Corporate Tragedy. Kind of outlines what International did wrong. And there's another book, I don't recall the name of it, and it kind of outlines what John Deere did right. And when they came out with these 560 diesels, or just a 560 tractor, they had a 6-cylinder engine. This one happens to be diesel, but and apparently they didn't beef up the rear end sufficiently to take the power, and so farmers saw catastrophic failures in the field. They'd buy the tractor, and then in the spring they would try to plant, and the tractor would just break here in the rear end, and brand new, and so I had read that John Deere saw this and seized on the opportunity to come in with favorable trading and financing to bail the farmer out, probably even loaning the tractors. And the farmers never forgot it. By the time these tractors came out, I believe John Deere had already pulled ahead with their 2-cylinder tractors, but they were already in great research and development and preparing for production for the new generation John Deere tractors that kind of set the stage for all tractors today, out of which the 4020 came. But in fairness to International, once they got the tractor fixed, and they didn't have a fix for it in the for the field right away. It took some time to engineer a fix, and so what should have been a great rollout turned into a disaster. I think I read somewhere that it cost so much money. It cost International so much money to fix these tractors that even at that point in time, they thought about shedding the agriculture division because of it. I've only seen that in one place, but I did read it somewhere. But these tractors went into production. I think they were reliable afterwards, and then they came out with the 06 series, the 806, 706 tractors, the 1206, and they were very, very strong. And I think the guy that took over, one of the reasons International wasn't testing the way they should have been, is they were being driven by sales. It was all the sales push kind of overrode engineering, and just get it out in the market, and then they paid dearly for it. And the guy that took over for International, he told them when they developed the 06 series that they had better be hell-bent stout. The thing that boggles the mind to me about International, and I think a lot of other people, is after the 56 series, like the 856, the 1256, those series tractors, when they came out with the 66 series, a lot of people felt like they should have had a power shift. John Deere had one for years and years at that point, and for whatever reason, International stuck with the TA. One of the things International had on these tractors and some of their other tractors was what they called the fast hitch, and you had pressure going up or down. And when John Deere John Deere tried to license the fast hitch, as I'm to understand from International, to use on their 2-cylinder tractors in the 50s, late 50s, and International wouldn't work with them at all. And so I don't know if they licensed from Ferguson, Massey Ferguson, or the patents ran out, but John Deere went with the 3-point hitch, and the rest is history. And so International, with the proprietary hitch, you had to have proprietary implements, and that was another bad thing. Some people say that the fast hitch is superior to the 3-point hitch. Maybe it probably is, I don't know. But in my opinion, they stuck with this too long. They stuck with the TA too long. And but on the other hand, they were still excellent tractors. They just weren't keeping up with the technology, that John Deere was dropping onto the marketplace, including, John Deere. I guess in 72, 73, they had the Sound Guard cab, and it took International another 3 or 4 years to come out with or maybe longer than that, to come out with the 86 series with the cab. And those cabs, some people have issues with them and the doors and the levers, but nonetheless, International still made a strong tractor that served the farmer well. And lucky for International, the farmer stuck with them right up to the end. A lot of farmers stuck with them right up to the very end when Tenneco bought the ag side and merged it with Case to create Case IH. But I have a Massey 1105. I had a International 756 gas, which was not the engine was a problem on that one, but it was otherwise a decent tractor. Kind of wish I still had it. But I have a big soft spot for International, even though I've got Massey Ferguson on the farm and John Deere, and I'd buy another one without a hesitation. I kind of move away from the tractors and the equipment and things like that to the livestock. We'll just kind of walk through and take some video. I don't know that I'll have a whole lot to say, but we'll see. So that's kind of the video of the animals. Not sure, I really don't get into checking out rabbits and little small animals like that. I like the cattle and pigs and some of the larger livestock. But I'm running out of room. I've got my little Android. I've got a phone I use for my haying, to keep my personal phone off the internet, but I'm using the camera on it. It's got a good battery, but it doesn't have a lot of memory, so this video may end abruptly, and if it does, appreciate you watching the West Virginia State Fair 2021. Feel free to comment, subscribe, and I'll keep going till I run out of disk space on this camera. So we'll keep going, and I'll talk to you later.
Tell the man said we get a wristband when we come back.